Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So, price parity for the EV and ICE car is already here in the premium brands. And that is not good news for the German automakers like Audi, BMW, Mercedes that only makes premium cars. But at the same time, Tesla is about to shock the whole world with their Project Highland. That is not just a new updated Model 3, but Tesla's new production platform, leapfrogging the whole industry once again, long before they have even caught up. So let's check it all out and let's dive right in. So, I just made a video this week about how Tesla will become a bigger car maker than Audi here in 2023 on all specs. But I think this will also be the year that we will see the German automakers in general suffer quite a bit, like Audi, but also Mercedes and BMW, because no one of them is really going to have more than 10% BEVs of their production at best. But in Europe and China, we will probably see something about 25 to 35% BEV market share. On that fact alone, they should see a massive decline in 2023. But these three car companies are in a bit more trouble, if you ask me, because they are only in the premium market, Tesla's market. And especially with Tesla's new price cuts, the EV is now the cheapest car in the premium segment. Like Kyle shared here on Twitter, he's a BMW M3 ICE car. Here is a great and outstanding car, but it has one flaw. This car costs $67,000. So how can anyone in their rightful mind buy this over a Tesla Model 3 that costs $54,000 or $46,000 with EV tax incentive? So you will save about $20,000, but get the car that actually kicks the M3's ass around the racetrack, as they showed in Top Gear. That also has track mode and much better software in general, and oh yeah, your M3 can't really get over-the-air updates and get new features. So for people like Kyle here and me that have already tried living with a Tesla where you get over-the-air software update on a monthly basis with new features and so on, well, we can't really find a reason to buy a BMW anymore. Even Rick from 2-Bit Da Vinci tuned in and said BMW is hard to justify at this point. They're ICE cars, of course, and we just saw just how bad BMW's software is in the EVs. It can't make an over-the-air update if it's not on level ground. You have got to be kidding me. This is so bad, so nobody in San Francisco can get updated on their BMWs. I think we will see BMW, Audi and Mercedes have a really tough time here in 2023 because they have no affordable car. And the premium EVs are now more affordable than the equivalent ICE car. As I just showed, the M3 series is now $20,000 more expensive on the sticker price, and then comes all the savings from true cost of ownership. You have to hate EVs or be mentally insane to not get the modern, affordable, updatable, more powerful premium EV over the ICE. But BMW has no countermove as they have no affordable car. BMW's most affordable model, the 1 Series, has a starting price in my country without any US tax incentive that is almost $6,000 more than the starting price of the Tesla Model 3. So no, EVs are no longer the more expensive choice. Yes, we don't have a good EV in the affordable segment, but that will come in the next 2 to 3 years. But in the premium segment, the EV is already more affordable than ICE cars. Before we start talking about how I save about $4,000 a year on fuel and maintenance and service checks and so on by having a Model 3 compared to my old Master 3. So the price parity we have all been waiting for is already here in the premium segment, and Tesla is doing this with an even higher gross margin than even someone like BMW has. They had about 17.7% gross margin in 2022 and Tesla had about 28. So Tesla's cost of making an EV is even cheaper than it cost BMW to make their ICE cars. But Tesla's average selling price in the US is actually now less than the average selling price of a car in the US in 2022. And even ARK and West show here that the price parity is pretty much here, as the least expensive EV with over 300 miles of range is less than the average selling price of a nice car. But just as you can see here that ARK and West think that Tesla's price will drop out of the sky now, and I agree. I think Tesla is about to make a big move on this that will put even more pressure on the German car makers that they can't follow. Connecting the Dot just made a 40-minute long video about Tesla's Project Highland. I highly recommend you go watch the whole thing. It was very well worth it. Very interesting facts, and the similarity between the early Ford and Tesla is just stunning. But one of his patrons wrote to him about the interesting parallel between 1913's Ford's Highland Park and Tesla's naming of the Tesla Model 3 Highland. Ford's Highland Park was the new manufacturing facility where Ford took the car manufacturing to a whole new level with Highland, and that is what Connecting the Dot thinks Tesla's Project Highland is all about, not just a revamp of the Model 3, and I think he's right on the money. We already know that Tesla has a new platform coming that will cut the cost for Tesla to produce a car in half. Everyone is expecting that it is only for the next generation Model 2 or whatever it's going to be called, the more affordable compact car. But I think Tesla will test out this new way of manufacturing a car with its Tesla Model 3 in the US. They are supposedly working on it in the Fremont factory, and I think they will try this out on the Model 3 long range. That is one of the most popular models, but also one of the most expensive to make because of the big battery. So if Tesla can cut the production cost in half on this car, that would really be a big achievement and worthy of the Highland name. Remember, you have not been able to order a Tesla Model 3 long range in the US for more than 6 months now. So why do you think that is? I don't think it's because there is such a high demand for this car that the order backlog is filled out for more than a year. I highly doubt that. I think they're just getting rid of all the orders of this car and not taking in new orders before they are ready with the Project Highland Model 3, which might get a little facelift or something, but I really don't think this is the main thing about this Highland project. I think it's all about how the car is made, so maybe not something the consumer will even feel that much. And if that's the case, that would be a huge innovation. If they can come out with a Model 3 that does not compromise, you will still get the long range, maybe even more, as I expect this car to be much lighter with a more efficient build, and still have the same acceleration and maybe even ready with the higher charging speed. But no matter what, if they come out with a Model 3 that you cannot feel any different in, compared to the old Model 3, but it only cost Tesla half to produce, that will make every premium ICE car go up in smoke. As we know, Tesla themselves have said that the old platform for the Model S and X cost Tesla about $86,000 to produce, but their current platform they use for the Model 3 and Y cost them about $36,000. And even Sandy Munro teared apart the 2018 Model 3 and showed that the cost of the car was about $33,000. So that lines up pretty well with Tesla's own statement. And Tesla has said that next generation platform will cut that cost in half. So about $18,000 for the new platform that they will now build a new Model 3 on. So they could probably sell the Tesla Model 3 long range for about $30,000 without any incentive and earn about 40% gross margin on that car. And we still have the EV incentive in the US that will make the Tesla Model 3 Highland long range available for the US public for maybe as low as $22,500. But maybe Tesla need to keep the price a bit higher until they can get the other Model 3 versions on their new platform to not make too big of an Osborne effect on the standard range and the performance version. But that would just mean that Tesla will make a shit ton of money on this new Highland Model 3. And they should have plenty of room to make this work in the Fremont factory, as Tesla also said that they were able to produce the new car on the new platform on half the factory footprint. So if they have pulled out the old Model 3 long-range production line and are going to use the same factory footprint for the new production line, it also means that the Fremont factory will suddenly be able to produce twice the amount of Model 3 long range. And every one of these new Model 3 will cause Tesla have to produce than the old version. This will be absolutely game-changing if this is the case. Also in the EV race, where the others are still trying to catch up to Tesla's production speed and no one is really making any money making EVs yet, but Tesla is about to make a new version of the Model 3 that could have a gross margin of 50% depending on the price they will do on this car. And I think this is exactly what the Chinese team came over to Fremont to help build. It was not just to make Tesla get up from 12,000 to 14,000 units per week in production speed. It was to help them build the next generation platform production line at Fremont. And maybe that jump in production that we are all waiting for from 12 to 14,000 a week will be when they actually ramp up the new Highland production line. And will be one of the first steps toward Tesla getting the Fremont factory to that 1 million annual production that we have heard Elon talk about before, when they get all the Model 3 versions over to the new platform and the Model Y as well. So even before the next generation model, the Model 2 or A or Q or whatever it's going to be called, that will blow Tesla past any other car maker in history, we might get a little glimpse of this new production platform with the revamp of the Tesla Model 3. And I am guessing it will be the long range. Firstly, because it has not been available in the US for 6 months. Secondly, with all the improvement, I think we will really get a long-range model that will have quite a bit more range than the old version, and therefore they can still take a good price for that car, as this will probably going to be the Model 3 version that most people is going to want, as it could have maybe 700 to 800 kilometers of range or 430 to 500 miles of range, if they keep the same kind of battery size, of course. But it will be very interesting to see how Tesla will launch this car so it does not eat all the sales of the other Model 3 versions. And if they have been working to make this one production line for the last 6 months, I think we will see this come to market very soon. Maybe we will even hear about it on the Investor Day on March the 1st. But this could be a vital blow for the German premium brand, as Tesla is already $20,000 cheaper, but it is about to cut their production cost in half. No one is going to be able to keep up with this, not even BYD. As Elon said, Tesla will be head and shoulders above anyone in manufacturing. That is their goal, and I think they are about to shock the world with their next generation platform, the Highland production method. Yes, this year is just getting better and better. Well, for Tesla, that is. Not so much for the competition. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.